Research Associate Dr. Tilak Bahadur Shrestha, sir. Welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Namaskar, Sabalai, Namaste, Jozlapa, Sarwar, Tasi Delik, and all that.
So, do you think there is a difference between Dharma and religion?
Yes, there is. And this is very, very crucial. And we really have to understand it thoroughly because Dharma is not religion. Let me repeat again. Religion is not Dharma. It is so way out that there is not even a connection. Now, when we talk about Dharma, we have like a Buddha Dharma, Saiva Dharma, Vaishnava Dharma, Tantra Dharma, Lokala Dharma, all those dharmas. And the bottom line of the Dharma is the seeking truth. What's the truth? It's seeking, and then it comes all kinds of issues comes with that. So what are the truths, and how do we grasp truth? And we'll talk about that in a few minutes later. And then the second one is how to improve internally. So it comes like a yoga, right? If you want, if the process of improving yourself by thinking, what's correct, what's not correct, does God exist or not, what are the arguments, all that. So this is from the thinking process. So that's Jnana Yoga. And if you go by heart, so I love everybody, I love all the cats and dogs and the trees and the insects and not even my enemies and all that. That's come from your heart. That's your Bhakti Yoga. And the third one is, what am I? Am I just a robot? Is just a biological machine? Or there is something beyond that? What's the consciousness? What am I aware of? Those things you go inside. That's the Raja Yoga, or also called Dhyana Yoga also. That's three basic one. And if you press all the three, and then when you work out, when you do normal your life, daily life, that's called the Karma Yoga. So that, suppose I slap you, and then you anger, you slap me. So in that situation, I am the driver, you are the car, because I am making decision, and you are simply taking my instruction, right? Now, suppose I slap you, then you have to sit down and think exactly what's happening, right? So your response should be your own. Maybe you should not, maybe, whatever the case may be. So those kind of thoughts, if you use that, that'll be Karma Yoga. So in the Karma Yoga, you have to understand what is your inner quality, what's your dharma. And then you have to stand up and be with that one. Just for example, if you are a Kshatriya, like Arjuna was, which the Lord Krishna has explained, that he had to fight for the Satya and the Nyaya. That's the truth and justice, right? It is not your personal choice, but that's what your karma dictates, and that's called Karma Yoga. Now that's let me repeat again. So Dharma means about seeking truth and about the inner progress, yoga. Now different Dharma emphasize different things, right? For example, Dvait or the Vaishnava Dharma, it emphasizes on Karma Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga. On the other side, if you have a Saiv or Advait, and both emphasize mostly on Jnana Yoga and what's called that, the Raja or Dhyana Yoga, that emphasize more. And so different dharmas emphasize different things, and it also comes as part of like culture and other issues associated with that. Now these different dharmas do not fight. They help each other. They augment each other. Like some questions, issues are explained better by a certain dharma, but then it cannot explain everything, and then the other dharma comes in. For example, if you ask the Buddhist, because Buddha dharma is a very much empirical, it does not use belief systems so much. And so what happens after death, what before that, those kinds of questions, Buddha Dharma will not answer that well, others will answer. So similarly, those things augment each other, they don't fight, and each Dharma basically means for inner peace and outer peace. Excuse me. So this is in a short per Dharma, so we can elaborate that later. Now the religion are way different. You should not be put together. In the religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and communism and fascism also are religions. Now, what happens in religion is it is not spirituality. It is purely politics. Basically what happened was, on the Middle East, There are tribes, and there's a problem that within the tribe they fight, all kinds of quarreling, and then tribe also fights. And so, if you can militarize the society, so that they don't fight either, they are militarized with just discipline, and then if you discipline, then you can fight with others. So that way, internally they are more cohesive, united, and then you can fight, right? So that's the bottom line of the religions. And so they differentiate humanity into two. We, brothers, friends, family, are all enemies. They have no such thing like indifferent ones. For example, Jews will say we are Jews, others are Goyim. We are Christians, others are heathen. We are Muslims, others are kafir, infidels. We are comrades, others are class enemies. We are superior race, others are inferior race. In case of Nepalese case, we understand and aware of basically three aggressive religions. They are number one, Christianity, number two, communism or Marxism, and number three, Islam. In all the three, all of them, they don't simply say what they have to say. That's not enough for them. That's a real problem. To say that we brothers all go to heaven, everybody goes to hell, is basically a stupidity. It's a murkhata. But they don't keep quiet over there. Then they will attack. That's the problem. And so we have to be aware of that. For example, what's the core doctrine of Christianity? All the Christians, no matter how evil, you can do all kinds of sin, but then you go to heaven, because no matter what bad thing you do, it's been already paid by Jesus. I mean, how are you going to pay that? And so they go to heaven. All others, because they come with so-called the original sin. I will explain that later on. And so babies are born in sin. And if you are not Christian, then your sins are not forgiven or paid by Jesus, so you go to hell. So all the Christians go to heaven, no matter how bad, and all non-Christians go to hell, no matter how good, virtuous, right? So then that's the bottom line, and then they don't keep quiet, then attack. For example, earlier Europe was not Christian. It is not the Christianity, not the product of European. No, in the Europe, it was imposed from the Christianity which came from Middle East, say current Israel-Palestine side, and then in the Europe, they have so-called the the part of their social thing. One is the philosophers like Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, Euclid, and all kinds of Greeks and Roman philosophers. And then they have also different gods and goddesses like Apollo, Hera, Zeus, Jupiter, and all kinds of gods and goddesses, right? And then when the Christianity was imposed on Europe in the 3rd century AD, what happened was they all wiped them out. And they killed around 10 crore, about 100 million Europeans, tortured death to impose Christianity. So Christianity was not slowly growing out of that. No, it is being imposed by violence and the torture and the killing. And the same thing later on, and then you have so-called the Spanish Inquisition. Next 50 million people got killed, and then it went America, and all the Native Americans, which badly they say like Red Indians, like almost 90% got killed. The same thing in Africa. And India, the British Raj did not allow it to happen because they were there to make money. However, things like Portuguese colonies like Goa, they did. They killed Hindus, they destroyed temples also. So it's their basic nature. But one thing we have to emphasize, if you invite, say, the American friend in your design, they'll come, they'll enjoy, they'll like tika, they'll sing song, they'll have a good time, they go. Similarly, they'll invite us for Christmas, we go have fun, one. Why that so? But if you have your one brother who converted to Christianity yesterday, he will not come. So what's the difference? In the American system, for them, Christianity is only a small part of their overall makeup. So like liberal arts, be friendly, enjoying each other's different cultures, and the human rights, democracy, freedom of thoughts, all those things matters. And so they enjoy, let me enjoy the different culture. Let me enjoy the Hindu culture, Nepalese culture, and so forth. They do enjoy that, right? And so we also enjoy. So that's no problem with us. But if you convert thee, then you will not come. Because he said, hey, this is the devil. So what they basically say, that only my gods are true, and all others are evil, devil. And so if a person converts to Christianity, then he has to throw all the Buddha statue, Lakshmi statue, Saraswati statue, Shiva statue, all that as a devil, kick them and throw out of the home as a devil. So that's the basic difference we have to understand. Thank you.
So, what is the condition in our nation about the dharma and religion? How is our standard?
No, so we have to differentiate. Now, before to answer the question, let me quickly touch on the communism and also Islam also. In the Marxism, it is basically a biologically impossible thing. Also in Nepal what's happening is the Maoist insurgency, right? It started like what, 2052 BS. We had democracy like 2047 Bikram Sambat, right? And so they have all the opportunity to tell your person and tell the programs and get elected. Nobody's stopping that, right? But then they start to kill people, right? So they have supposed to have killed 17,000 families, people, and something got hurt and something happened. Now 17,000 is not a number. It's not like a 12 plus 5 makes 17. No, each number means a destroyed family asking for justice. And what happened to justice? It's been like 17, 18 years, nothing happened, right? And now what are you going to tell all those dead people? Hey, keep quiet, don't talk, right? Are you going to say that? Now I'll tell you, the country or the nation or the culture who does not have justice does not last long, have not last long. So you have to be careful on that. Because suppose, what about you and me? We don't kill anybody, yes. So we are not legal, criminal. But we are a part of society. So you cannot say, hey, I'm not responsible. Yes, you are responsible. Yes, I am responsible. That whatever happened, sin in front of us, if you watch and do nothing, then you are not legal criminal, but you are sinner and you will come back somewhere, somehow. So that be very careful on that, right? And what's the Marxism is all about? Marxism is trying to make human being as an ant or as a bee. The ants and bees doesn't have its own. It goes to work out, bring the food, put in your store, and then eat whatever you need. Can you do that for human beings? No, you can't. We are like monkeys. What the monkey eat food, monkey will eat as much quickly as possible. And if this dog comes, says, hey monkey, come on, dog is coming, let's eat faster, right? Because the monkey thinks that it should take care of other monkeys first before dog. Now if the tiger comes, monkey will tell me, hey monkey, tiger is coming, you run away. And also will tell the dog also, hey dogs, careful, there's a tiger coming in. So our system is like this, me, my family, my nation, my world, right? Which is not what the communists are talking about. So that is a biological impossibility. Excuse me. Now, you can have any kind of ideas you want. Even you have a wrong ideas, it is not wrong at all, because even from the wrong ideas, sometimes good ideas come about, right? So to think about anything is better than not to think at all. However, just because you believe that your ideas are great, you have no right to attack others. That's the problem. Now, let me also give you one quick example. Earlier, in time of Lenin, all Stalin, all that, they really believed that, right? But then what happened? Stalin killed about 20 million people to impose communism. Excuse me. Lenin killed about 200,000, something like this, right? Mao Zedong, when what's called that collective violence program, almost 4.5 crore, that's 45 million. And after that, when he had the Cultural Revolution, next 15 million. So he killed about 60 million in Chinese. And so when the Deng Xiaoping came, he threw the whole thing out, and now the Chinese, even though they have so-called the Communist Party of China, all that, but they are actually fascists, not communists. I will tell you what's the difference between communism and fascism later. And then, right now, think about this. The North Korea and South Korea, they were almost similar, right? Now, what's the per capita income of North Korea? Half of Nepal. What about the per capita income of South Korea? 10 times of Nepal. So between North and South, there's almost 20 times difference. I'm giving you just ballpark figure. What the North Korea says, People's Republic, right? So, are they elected? Is there any election? Then how can you claim to be people's? Now, these Marxists are very smart at using different words to fool people. So, got to be very careful. Now, let's talk about this so-called communist leader. Let me quickly finish this one. What about the communist leaders? Only for the Maoists or the MLA or all shares are communists. Do they really visit North Korea anytime? No. If they get opportunities, they go to US. If not, they go to Canada. If not, they go to Thailand, nowhere else. Do they send their children to study in North Korea? No. They send their children to study where? USA or the Australia or the Canada or the, right? So these guys are basically a number one hypocrites. So they have no qualms about sending others' children to fight, right? And what about their own children, right? So these guys are real hypocrites, right? Now let me quickly touch on the Islam also. So what's the bottom line of Islam? That the whole world must submit to Muhammad. So the Islam means submission. So sometimes means Islam means peace. No. Salam means peace. Islam is subjugation or submission. So whole world must submit to Islam or the Muhammad. Now, you may not know that. So that and not to submit is a crime. And so all the non-Muslims are committing crime by not being Muslims. Now you may not know that. So the Muslims are obliged to tell you very nicely and peacefully, please do come be Muslims. You don't know that you are committing crime. You are a criminal. And so that's called dawah invitation. Now if you don't do the come join, then things are open. That's called jihad to attack you. Now, if you are stronger, then you cannot attack. If you are Muslims, his other guys are stronger than Muslims, then what they do is they lie. That's called taqiyya. If enemies are stronger than yourself, then you don't want to attack. You want to speak lies. That's called taqiyya. If you are stronger, then you attack. That's called jihad. Now, if you in the attack, if you die, then you go to the heaven, and you get to enjoy all the time. That's excuse me. That you're going to get 72 virgins, 28 young boys for their sexual pleasures, and a mountain of fried chicken, and the river of the wine. Now, if you win, what happens? You grab all the money, wealth, and women of the non-Muslims, and 1/5 goes to the center, and 4/5 goes to fighting people. That if you capture 5 women, then 1 goes to the center, 4 goes to distribute among the fighters. And this is how the spread Islam. And that's we have to be careful. And this is what happened. Now, if you check what happened in Birgan, Nepal, this is the part of that. Thank you.
So, it means our condition, we even couldn't differentiate the dharma and religion actually.
Yes, that's a real problem.
Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Let me add one more quickly. This guy, they talk about dharma nirapekshata, right?
Secularism.
Right. That's the what. It is really stupidity to say that. That's real murkhata. It's only murkha says so. For example, dharma is not religion. Secularism is not dharma nirapekshata. What's secularism? It simply means that no theocracy, that you cannot run your government using Bible or using Quran. That's called theocracy. No theocracy means separate the Quran and the state and the Bible and the state. That's called secularism. Wait, let me complete. Now, when we say dharma means inner property, say the dharma of fire is to burn. So can you tell the fire, hey, now you become you cannot hit others. The dharma of a teacher is to teach well. So do you want a teacher with or without dharma, right? So we are talking about quite different things. They are not the same thing. For example, when you say should have a nation dharma, yes, you should have. What is the dharma of a nation? To take care of all its citizens, all the citizens, right? It is not imposing a particular textbook, scripture on the society. So which is different from the dharma of a nation is to take it all the ones. Also, when we talk about Hindu Rashtra, we are saying that we are simply proud of our heritage. That we have King Janak, we have the Buddha, you have a Prakriti, you have a Sita, you have a Yalambar, we have a Mahendra Malla, you have Mahendra Shah. We are talking about Ved Vyas, right? We are proud of that. We are, the Gorkha and all that, right? We are proud of that. We are not saying that we have to impose certain scriptures. Thank you.